Hi all, this is Maya and this is a video to hopefully get you guys started in your online Math 141. Sorry in advance, I know this one's going to get a little rambly. I always do that with my intro stuff. Okay, so first a heads up, this is the first time that this school has offered Pre-Calc 1 as an online course, so there's definitely some learning on my end. I have lots of materials that I've been working with for a long time, but these videos are new, so please let me know if there's any mistakes that you find in the videos or anything that I could do to help you out that I haven't already done. I will be working at making this work as well as possible. Okay, so I think in this video, I just want to go over a little bit of what materials you'll be needing and using for this course and how to stay on schedule and what your grading will look like. So materials is actually pretty minimal. I recommend that you get a graphing calculator. A TI 83 or above is a great idea. It is listed as required in your syllabus, but you can actually get by in this class without having a graphing calculator. You absolutely need some sort of calculator, but you don't have to have a graphing calculator. The other thing that I would recommend having is some sort of book to use as a resource. I've worked really hard at making my own homework packets so that we don't all have to buy $100+ book, but a math book is actually a great thing for you to have, especially in an online course. I have links in WAMAP to a free online book that I actually haven't checked out very much yet, but I also have a link to purchase on Amazon a 6th edition of Sullivan's Pre-Calculus. We're currently using a newer edition and slightly different version of Sullivan's Pre-Calc at SPSCC for a lot of our classes, but there's no reason for you to get that newest version since our homework assignments are on separate packets. So I will be trying to go through and match my packets with each section in that version of Sullivan's Pre-Calculus. You should be able to get it for under $10 with shipping. So if you want to grab that book, that's a great one. Otherwise, any pre-calc book you can get your hands on is probably going to work for the most part as a reference. You just might have to search a little to find what sections they're doing in what order. If you're able to get to SPSCC's campus, we do have versions of the newer Sullivan in the library and the Math Center, so you can use those for free. Otherwise, like I said, I've worked really hard at making my own homework packets so everybody can access those in WAMAP under course materials, and I have all of your stuff blocked up by exams. So you'll see exam 1, and then after we take exam 1 and exam 2 block will show up, and everything that goes on each exam is in that block. Okay, so scheduling and keeping up with things in this course. 141 is a tough course. It's one of the toughest courses on campus for people. It's kind of a hard transition from lower level math classes to this one, and we're working hard at that. I just want to give you a heads up that you need to make sure you're really on top of this and you dedicate a lot of time to mastering everything that you have to work on. So there is a schedule posted in WAMAP under course materials. It's sort of just an outline. It will list due dates for each homework packet that I have posted. I'm not actually collecting homework packets, but this is supposed to give you an idea of how to keep on pace and not fall behind and be cramming right before a test or quiz. So pay attention to those. Let me think what I was going to say about that one. If you are posting in forums, which I'll talk about in a minute, the forum post should be up by that due date, and that due date is the day that I will make full solutions available. Anything that I have saved, I will post, and I have most, but not all problems fully typed out. You'll also see that every Tuesday, except for the very first Tuesday of the quarter, there will be some sort of test happening. So it will alternate. So on the second Tuesday of the quarter, we will have our first quiz. Quizzes will be at home. I'll make them show up at midnight Tuesday morning, and you will need to print those off and work them out at home, and then send me a PDF version. You can take a picture or you can scan by midnight of Tuesday night. So you got 24 hours sometime on Tuesday. I want you to print that off, work through, and send it back to me. Quizzes are not super long. It will be 1 page front and back. I would expect that it should maybe take about half an hour, but of course you've got it at home, work slowly, recheck, all of that stuff is great. I'm really using quizzes as a tool to help keep you on pace so you don't put off 2 weeks worth of material until right before an exam, and also to get you used to my style of testing and what to expect. So to be prepared for a quiz, you should make sure you've worked through every homework packet that is listed on the schedule as being covered on the quiz. So for example, the first quiz covers packets 1.0, 1.1, and 1.2. So make sure you've worked through all of those. Answer keys are available right off the bat for all homework packets. And then, as I said, full solutions will show up on the due date that's listed. So if there's anything you haven't been able to get through on your own, make sure you're looking at those solutions in the forums. In fact, it doesn't hurt to glance over some of the other problems as well, just to make sure you're doing them the way I'm expecting you to do them. We will then, on the third Tuesday of class, have our first exam. Exams will need to be taken on campus or with an approved proctor. They have to be taken on Tuesday. I'm planning on scheduling from 5 to 7 a room for us so that I can proctor for people in the evenings. If that time does not work for you, I'm available during the day earlier as well. I'm just hoping that that's a good time for the majority of the class. So absolutely we can work things out as far as time goes. I do want those exams to be taken on the day that they are scheduled. Okay, so grade-wise, quizzes are going to be worth 10% of your grade at the end of the quarter. So there will be 5 quizzes. I will allow you to drop 1 quiz. The primary reason I'm allowing you to drop is in case for some reason you have trouble submitting or you can't do one of the quizzes. So make sure you keep that in mind. If something comes up, please let me know, but also keep in mind that you get to throw one of those away for free. So if you have any technical difficulties or anything like that, you get 1 freebie on the throwaway for quizzes. So at the end of the quarter, I'll take your best 4 quizzes. Each will be 2.5% of your overall grade. So again, 10% total. So quizzes are supposed to be a chance for you to get a good buffer for your grade, a little bit of cushion, and have some testing for yourself without super high stakes where it's counting for a ton of your grade. I will also let you drop 1 exam for the exact same reasons. If something happens and you can't make it to campus or a proctor, you get to throw 1 exam away. If you, anything at all, if you do great on your first 4 exams and don't want to come in and take the last exam, that's completely fine. Although I would recommend doing it anyways. It can't hurt you. It's just good practice. And if it ends up being your lowest test, I'll drop that for you. So at the end of the quarter, we have 5 exams. I'll keep your best 4. Each one will be worth 15% of your grade. So exams are the biggest part of your grade. That's 60% total. So you want to make sure you're really ready for exams. Exams will overlap the same material that the quiz before them has. So for the first week, we'll be getting ready for quiz 1. For the rest of the second week after quiz 1, we'll be finishing up any sections that are on exam 1. So exam 1 will cover everything on quiz 1 and also an additional section 1.3. So again, if you look at your schedule, it should show you when things are due and what sections are on each test. So plan on having a test of some sort every Tuesday. Okay, your final I've scheduled for a Tuesday as well, just to keep things consistent. So that's Tuesday, March 22nd. As it gets closer to that time, I'll try and reserve a room for a 3-hour block, probably in the evenings again, if that seems like it's working well. The final is written to be a 2-hour test, and I don't think I said this earlier, but exams are written to be about 1 hour. So finals twice as long as an individual exam. I'm happy for you to have a little extra time to work. So I'm going to schedule 3 hours for that so that you can come in. So I've scheduled 2 hours for exams. You can take the extra time if you want, but my plan is just to give you some flexibility for timing. and then 3 hours for the final. I would try and plan to be able to use the entire 3 hours. Whatever time I end up reserving, I will be available again to proctor tests earlier in the day if an evening time slot doesn't work for you. Your final is worth 25% of your grade, so it's a decent chunk, and it's really important that you do have everything sort of put together at the end of the quarter. It's a cumulative final, and I really want to see that people understand everything at the end of the quarter. The final thing that you'll be working on, I mentioned earlier, are posting homework solutions in the forums. This is going to be worth 5% of your grade at the end of the quarter. So this is the part of your grade that's most like a homework score. It's going to be entirely up to you to decide when you have time to make a post and contact me. I'll assign you a post. Feel free to request if there's a certain problem you'd like to post. Otherwise, I'll just send one your way. And those posts need to be made before the due date listed for the packet on our schedule. Again, after the due date for a packet, I'll go through and I will post any solutions that I have to problems. So I don't have all of them, but I have a lot of them. And I'm working towards having absolutely all of them done. Just like with the packets, this is something I'm working on so that people don't have to pay for it. So it's not perfect, and I'm sorry in advance. And please post in the typos forum if you see any typos in a homework packet, in a solution, if you see a mistake in a video, anything at all. It's not annoying to me. It's really helpful. I want to eradicate all of those mistakes, and I require your help to do it. The typos forum does have points assigned to it as well, so generally I'll give a point or two for posting a typo. If it's something a little bit longer where you've actually typed out some work, I will of course give more points. Otherwise, for points on forums, I would say an individual post can be anywhere up to 10 points, and I would like you to aim for 40 points total by the end of the quarter. I don't care which forums those 40 points are in. There are point totals listed in WAMAP for the forums. But you don't have to get a certain number of points in each forum, just a grand total of 40 points. I would say a normal post is in the ballpark of like 5 points. The longer and more detailed your explanation, the more graphs you include, the more math formatting you have, the more points. So really, really big posts can get 10 points. If you're making really, really big posts, you would only have to post 4 times during the quarter. If you're making more normal size points in the ballpark of 5, you're going to need to post 5 points. You're going to need to post 8 times. So I would just try and shoot for 1 post a week so that you're not scrambling to get these done at the end of the quarter. The last due date listed for a homework assignment will be the day that forums close. So as soon as that last homework packet is due, that will be the end of your opportunity to get forum points. So just make sure you're trying to keep up with those. I'll try and make sure to bug people if I see you're not getting enough posts. But as soon as you feel like you have enough time to sit down and type up a solution, just contact me and sign up for one and go for it. Those posts do need to be typed and include math formatting. So I'll make a quick video or type up, I haven't decided which, in WAMAP to get you started on those. You can use the math formatting that's built into WAMAP. It does sometimes get a little glitchy if you do too much switching back and forth between math formatting and plain text. It will spool out a bunch of code. Don't delete your post if that happens. A lot of times we can find the original stuff in there. But my advice would be, if you're using WAMAP's math formatting, to make sure that you don't switch back and forth between math formatting and text a lot in an individual line. Give a line of math text its own line, and then type any explanation in the next line. Okay, let's see if I can think of anything I've forgotten. Feel free to use the forums just for general class discussion as well. In fact, I think there's one called General Class Discussion. So if you have questions that don't apply directly to homework problems, post them there. If you have questions about homework problems, feel free to use the homework see if I can speak, the forum for that packet to ask those questions. You can absolutely message or email me directly with questions, but I'd really like everybody to see as much of that discussion as possible. So unless it's a question about grades or something that you would prefer to have private, post them in the forums. I'll be monitoring that. Other students, feel free to answer each other's questions. I will absolutely give you points for answering other people's questions. So use them for anything. Whenever I see something that's productive and helpful to your classmates, I'll try and assign some points to it to encourage all of you to take advantage of that resource. So again, if you have a private question, please message or email it to me. Otherwise, post it in the forum so other people can benefit from answers as well. Okay, I think that's my whole ramble. Again, please just keep in touch with me. I am completely open to any questions. I want to know if there's something that I haven't made clear, haven't told you about. I will be trying to check in on WAMAP and in email regularly. So I'm generally on campus for a decent chunk of the day. And if you're in town, you're welcome to come visit me on campus, but also throughout the time that I'm on campus, I'll try and keep checking in on those things. I'm not always able to check in the evenings, but I will try to when I can. Okay, that's it. I hope to hear from all of you if you have any trouble getting going. Thanks.